Commander Raven Sullivan stood at the Quantum Observatory's main window, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display that showed the incoming signal. The message had appeared 3 days ago, broadcasting on frequencies that shouldn't exist according to humanity's public scientific knowledge. But Raven knew better. She had always known better. "Analysis complete, Commander," Lieutenant Finn O'Connor announced, his fingers dancing across the neural interface. "The signal matches the patterns we expected from the Nexarian civilization. They're asking for help." Raven allowed herself a small smile. After centuries of preparation, it was finally happening. Humanity's greatest deception was about to be tested. "Show me the message, Finn." The holographic display shifted, revealing a desperate plea from what appeared to be an advanced alien civilization. The Nexarians described themselves as a species on the brink of collapse, seeking aid from Earth, a planet they believed to be a young, emerging civilization with barely functional spaceflight capability. "They bought it," said Director Samira Hassan, entering the observatory. Her traditional headscarf was adorned with subtle quantum threads that shimmed in the low light. "All our careful work, all these years of maintaining the illusion of a primitive Earth, it's finally paying off." Raven nodded, remembering the centuries of preparation. While the public world used fossil fuels and chemical rockets, the true human civilization had evolved far beyond such primitive technology. Every satellite malfunction, every failed space mission, every crude rocket launch, all carefully orchestrated performances in humanity's grand theater of deception. "Have they detected any of our quantum defense grid?" Raven asked, though she already knew the answer. The grid had been designed by the best minds in human history, invisible even to civilizations that thought themselves advanced. "Nothing," Finn confirmed. "Their scans show exactly what we want them to see, a planet struggling with climate change, fighting over dwindling resources, barely able to reach their own moon." Director Hassan approached the quantum display, her expression thoughtful. "The Council wants us to maintain the deception through first contact. We'll need to prepare our primitive welcome ceremony." Raven pulled up the planetary defense grid's true display, visible only to those with quantum-enhanced vision. Earth was far from the struggling world they presented to the galaxy. The planet was encased in layers of defenses that made it one of the most secure locations in known space. And soon, the Nexarians would walk right into humanity's carefully laid trap. "Begin Operation Humble Haven," Raven commanded. Across the globe, quantum technology went into deeper hiding. Advanced cities shifted behind even more powerful illusion fields. The already cloaked orbital defense platforms adjusted their masks to appear as simple communication satellites. "Commander," Finn called out, his voice tight with excitement. "We're detecting their scout ships entering the solar system. They're following exactly the path we predicted." Raven watched as the Nexarian vessels appeared on their screens. To any external observer, Earth's primitive detection systems would appear to be struggling to track these advanced ships. In reality, humanity's quantum sensors had tracked their approach since they left their home galaxy. "Initiate diplomatic protocols," Director Hassan ordered. "Let's show them exactly what they expect to see, a young species about to experience first contact." As the alert went out to Earth's public channels, causing the expected excitement and chaos of a civilization discovering they weren't alone, Raven thought about the true message hidden in the quantum frequencies. The one that explained why humanity had maintained this deception for so long. The one that warned of what was coming. The Nexarians weren't just seeking help, they were running from something. Something that humanity had been preparing to face for thousands of years. And now, finally, the pieces were falling into place. "Send the welcome message," Raven commanded. "Let's give them the show they're expecting." As Earth's carefully crafted response was transmitted, full of appropriate awe and excitement, Raven exchanged knowing looks with her colleagues. The game was on, and humanity was ready to play their part to perfection. Little did the approaching Nexarians know that they weren't discovering Earth, Earth was discovering them. And the truth about humanity's place in the galaxy was far more complex than anyone could imagine. Captain Lyra Patel watched from the hidden Quantum Command Center as the Nexarian ships descended through Earth's atmosphere. Their vessels were impressive by most galactic standards, sleek, energy-efficient, and capable of near light-speed travel. But compared to humanity's true capabilities, they might as well have been rowing boats. "Landing zone is prepared," reported Technical Director Winston Blake, his augmented eyes scanning multiple dimensional feeds simultaneously. "All quantum signatures are masked. To their sensors, it'll look like we're struggling just to maintain basic radio communications." Lyra felt the familiar twinge of guilt. The Nexarians had come seeking help, yet here they were, being drawn into humanity's elaborate web of deception. "Are we sure about this, Winston?" They seem genuine in their distress. "The Council's orders are clear," Winston replied, though his tone suggested he shared her concerns. "We need to understand what they're running from before we reveal our true nature." The landing zone was a masterpiece of technological theater. What appeared to be a hastily constructed military base was actually an advanced quantum observation post. Every piece of primitive equipment was carefully designed to feed false data to the Nexarian sensors. Through the quantum feeds, Lyra watched as Ambassador Theron, the Nexarian leader, emerged from their ship. The aliens were humanoid in appearance, their silver-toned skin reflecting the sunlight. They moved with a grace that spoke of genetic enhancement, impressive, but nothing compared to humanity's quantum-integrated biology. Beginning atmospheric analysis, one of the Nexarian scientists announced, deploying what they thought was an undetectable scanning device. Lyra couldn't help but smile as their quantum systems automatically fed the device exactly the data they expected to find. Earth's welcoming committee approached, led by the carefully chosen Dr. Julian Rivera. He played his part perfectly, a brilliant but appropriately primitive scientist, showing just the right mix of awe and intellectual curiosity. "Welcome to Earth," Julian said, his voice carrying the carefully practiced tremor of someone meeting aliens for the first time. We are honored by your presence." Ambassador Theron stepped forward, his translator converting his words into what he believed was flawless English. "The honor is ours, Dr. Rivera. Your world's response to our message was most impressive for a young civilization." Behind her quantum screens, Lyra accessed the deep historical archives. The Nexarians didn't know it, but humanity had watched their civilization develop over millennia. Earth's quantum probes had documented their evolution from a pre-industrial society to their current level of technology. "Captain," Winston whispered, "we're detecting unusual quantum fluctuations in their secondary vessels. They're hiding something." Lyra's augmented senses immediately picked up the disturbance. The Nexarians were indeed concealing technology within their ships, technology that shouldn't have been possible at their development level. "Archive match found," the quantum AI announced privately to Lyra's neural interface. The hidden technology bears signatures similar to artifacts discovered in the Orion ruins. This was unexpected. The Orion ruins were part of humanity's true history, carefully hidden from the galaxy at large. If the Nexarians had somehow accessed that technology. "Adjust the quantum masks," Lyra ordered. "Let's give them a glimpse of something they're not supposed to see, something small, but significant." Through the quantum feeds, she watched as one of Earth's cloaking fields flickered for a fraction of a second, just long enough for the Nexarian sensors to detect an energy signature that shouldn't exist on a primitive world. Ambassador Theron's reaction was subtle but unmistakable. His secondary breathing bladders expanded slightly, a sign of surprise in his species. He covered it quickly, but Lyra had seen what she needed to see. "They're not just running from something," she sub-vocalized to Winston. "They're looking for something. And they think it's here on Earth." As the diplomatic pleasantries continued on the surface, deep beneath the quantum veils, humanity's true technological might stirred. In hidden cities and dimensional pockets across the globe, preparations began for scenarios planned centuries in advance. The game had changed. The Nexarians weren't just victims seeking shelter, they were hunters on a quest. And somehow, they had stumbled upon fragments of a truth that humanity had worked for millennia to keep hidden. Lyra opened a secure quantum channel to Commander Sullivan. "Raven, we need to accelerate the timeline. They know something about the Orion artifacts. This isn't just about their pursuers anymore." As she watched the Nexarians examine their primitive Earth technology with carefully hidden knowledge in their eyes, Lyra realized that humanity's great deception was about to become even more complex. The question was no longer whether they would reveal their true nature, but how much of the truth the galaxy was ready to handle. Dr. Marcus Blackwood stood in the quantum-shielded depths of the global archives, surrounded by holographic displays of humanity's true history. The Nexarian delegation would be touring the public version of this facility tomorrow, a carefully curated museum of humanity's early achievements. But here, 12 quantum levels below, the real story was written in strands of light and streams of data. "The patterns are unmistakable," he said to the shimming quantum projection of Captain Lyra Patel. "The technology they're hiding in their ships, it's not just similar to the Orion artifacts. It's derived from them." The holographic data swirled around them, showing overlapping designs and energy signatures. The Nexarians' hidden technology pulsed with the same quantum frequency as the ancient ruins humanity had discovered across the galaxy millennia ago. "That's impossible," Lyra replied, her projection frowning. "We've kept the Orion sites hidden since before their civilization achieved spaceflight. They couldn't have accessed them." Marcus manipulated the quantum display, bringing up star charts that spanned millions of years. "Unless they didn't find the ruins themselves. Look at this migration pattern." The display showed the Nexarians' ancestral home world, long before they had achieved civilization. A massive energy wave had swept through their star system, forcing a planetary evacuation that their modern history had forgotten. "They were refugees," Marcus explained. "Their ancestors were transported to their current home world by someone. Someone who used Orion technology." Through the quantum link, he felt Lyra's surprise. The implications were staggering. The Nexarians weren't just random refugees seeking Earth's help, they were part of an ancient plan set in motion long ago. "Director Hassan needs to see this," Lyra said. "And Commander Sullivan. This changes everything about their presence here." Before Marcus could respond, the quantum sensors pulsed with an alert. Above them, in the public museum, one of the Nexarian scientists had broken away from their tour group. Dr. Rena Val, their chief archaeologist, was examining a seemingly ordinary display of early human writing systems. "She knows," Marcus whispered, watching through the quantum feeds. "Look at how she's tracing the patterns. Those aren't random observations." The ancient human scripts on display weren't just writing, they were simplified versions of Orion quantum codes, hidden in plain sight throughout human history. And somehow, Dr. Val was recognizing them. "Lock down the quantum field," Lyra ordered. "Don't let her detect anything below the surface level." But as they watched, Dr. Val pulled out what appeared to be a simple scanning device. The quantum sensors recognized it immediately. It was Orion technology, disguised as modern Nexarian equipment. "They're not just looking for help," Marcus realized. "They're looking for confirmation. They've discovered their own connection to the Orion civilization, and they think Earth is part of the same legacy." Through the quantum feeds, they watched as Dr. Val's scanner detected traces of quantum energy that should have been completely hidden. Her expression changed, not to surprise, but to satisfaction. "We need to tell them," Marcus said suddenly. "Not everything, but something. They're going to keep digging, and if we don't control what they find, the Council won't approve," Lyra warned. "The deception protocols are absolute." Marcus pulled up another quantum display, this one showing energy patterns spreading across the galaxy. The protocols were created to protect humanity and the galaxy from the truth. But look at these readings. Whatever the Nexarians are running from, it's connected to the Orion legacy too. We're all part of something bigger. In the museum above, Dr. Val carefully placed her scanner back in her robes, her expression thoughtful. She rejoined her group, but her eyes kept darting to seemingly random exhibits that Marcus now realized formed a pattern, a quantum map hidden in the architecture of the building itself. "Captain," Marcus said, his voice firm. "The deception protocol was never meant to be permanent. It was meant to protect humanity until we were ready to face our true history. What if that time isn't just coming, what if it's already here?" The quantum displays around them pulsed with new data as more Nexarian ships entered the solar system. But these weren't refugee vessels, they were running from something that was following them. Something that was triggering quantum alarms that hadn't activated in thousands of years. "Send everything to Commander Sullivan," Lyra ordered. "All of it. The migration patterns, the quantum signatures, Dr. Val's scans. It's time for the Council to face reality. Our carefully maintained deception is about to collide with a truth even we might not be ready for." As Marcus compiled the quantum data, he noticed something in the ancient star charts. The path that had led the Nexarians' ancestors to their new home world, it wasn't random. When overlaid with other quantum maps, it formed part of a larger pattern, a design that spread across the galaxy like a web. And at the center of that web, pulsing with quantum energy that had lain dormant for millennia, was Earth. Admiral Jonas Reeves stood in the Quantum Command Center beneath Mount Everest, watching as the incoming threat materialized at the edge of the solar system. The vessels were unlike anything in their database, massive structures that seemed to bend reality around them, leaving tears in the quantum fabric of space. "Evacuation status of the Nexarian fleet," he asked, his neural implants processing multiple data streams simultaneously. "70% complete," Lieutenant Commander Nina Volkov reported, her hands dancing across the quantum interface. "But their ships are too slow. They won't all make it before those things arrive." The Admiral's jaw tightened. Humanity had maintained its deception for millennia, hiding their true capabilities from the galaxy. But now, watching the Nexarian refugees struggling with their advanced technology, he knew the time for secrets was over. "Contact Commander Sullivan and Captain Patel," he ordered. "Execute Protocol Omega. It's time to wake up." Across the planet, hidden quantum systems began to stir. In orbit, thousands of cloaked defense platforms shed their disguises. The planetary shield grid, invisible for centuries, hummed to life, its energy signature visible across multiple dimensions. Through the quantum feeds, Jonas watched the Nexarians' reactions. Ambassador Theron stared in disbelief as Earth's true face was revealed. The primitive military bases transformed into advanced quantum complexes. Simple satellites became battle stations. The entire planet seemed to shimmer as layers of technological camouflage fell away. "By the ancient stars," Theron whispered, his translator struggling with his awe. "What are you?" "We are humanity," Jonas replied through the quantum link. "And we've been waiting for this moment for a very long time." Dr. Val stepped forward, her disguised Orion scanner now openly displayed. "The patterns in your museum, they weren't just decorations. They were a message, weren't they? A message for those who could read it. A message left by the same beings who saved your ancestors," Jonas confirmed. "The same beings who chose Earth as the guardian of their legacy." The quantum sensors screamed as the pursuing vessels accelerated. They were no longer trying to hide their nature, reality itself seemed to crack around them, revealing glimpses of something ancient and terrible. "Those ships," Theron said, his voice shaking. "We thought they were just raiders, targeting advanced civilizations. But they're not, are they? They're something else. They're harvesters," Jonas explained, activating Earth's deep space quantum array. Ancient machines left behind by a civilization even older than the Orions. They don't just destroy worlds, they consume them, breaking down all matter and energy to fuel their expansion. The quantum displays showed the harvesters' true nature, not ships at all, but massive computational entities, designed to gather resources for a long-dead empire's final contingency plan. All defensive grids online, Nina reported. Quantum shields at full power. The Nexarian fleet is now within our protection range. Jonas watched as Earth's hidden technology enveloped the refugee ships in protective fields, accelerating their evacuation. The primitive rockets and satellites that had been their public face were replaced by quantum gates and dimensional corridors. "This is why we hid," he explained to the astonished Nexarians. "Not out of fear, but preparation. We knew they were coming. The Orions knew it too. They seeded the galaxy with their technology, creating safe havens and guardians. Your civilization was protected and guided. Ours was chosen to be the final line of defense." Through the quantum feeds, they watched as the first harvester ship entered the inner solar system. Its presence was wrong, a violation of physics and reason. Reality buckled around it as ancient systems activated in response. "What you're about to see," Jonas said, his hand hovering over the quantum control interface, "is why humanity has spent thousands of years pretending to be less than we are. The harvesters aren't just looking for resources, they're looking for weapons. The weapons the Orions left behind. The weapons they entrusted to us." The quantum grid pulsed with power as Earth's true defensive capabilities awakened. Dimensional barriers that had been dormant for millennia hummed to life. The entire solar system began to shift, revealing layers of technology that had been hidden since before human civilization began. "Welcome," Jonas said, watching as understanding dawned in the Nexarians' eyes, "to the real Earth. I hope you're ready for what comes next." As the harvesters approached, humanity's greatest deception came to an end. But an even greater revelation was about to begin, one that would change the galaxy forever. Time seemed to slow as the first harvester vessel breached the quantum defense line. Commander Raven Sullivan watched from the central quantum nexus as reality twisted around the ancient machine, its presence an aberration in the fabric of spacetime. But humanity was ready. All quantum matrices synchronized, Captain Lyra Patel reported, her consciousness merged with Earth's defense systems. Dimensional anchors holding steady. "We are go for protocol genesis." Through the quantum network, Raven felt the combined consciousness of Earth's defense force, millions of minds linked together, their quantum-enhanced abilities focused on this moment. The Nexarians watched in awe as humanity's true power manifested. "By the stars," Ambassador Theron breathed, witnessing the transformation. "Your world, it's not just a planet. It's a key," Dr. Marcus Blackwood finished, emerging from the quantum archives. "The final key in the Orion's grand design. And those harvesters? They're not just seeking resources. They're trying to prevent what's about to happen." The solar system itself began to shift as ancient systems activated. Hidden quantum structures, dormant for millennia, emerged from dimensional pockets. The sun's corona flickered with patterns that defied normal physics, proof of modifications made long before human civilization arose. "All those years of deception," Admiral Reeves said, his quantum projection appearing beside Raven. "Making the galaxy think we were primitive, hiding our true nature. It wasn't just about protecting ourselves. It was about protecting this moment." The harvester vessels, now fully revealed, were terrifying in their complexity. They were cosmic anomalies, machines built to unmake reality itself. But as they approached Earth, something unexpected happened. They hesitated. Through the quantum link, Dr. Val's voice carried a note of revelation. They recognized the pattern. The quantum signature, it's the same one that saved our ancestors. Earth isn't just a guardian world. It's a nexus point. Raven nodded, activating the final sequences. The Orions didn't just leave us weapons. They left us a plan. A way to restore balance to the galaxy. The Harvesters were created by something older than the Orions, an empire that tried to control reality itself. But the Orions found a better way. Earth's quantum field expanded, connecting with hidden nodes throughout the galaxy, points of light that had guided the development of countless civilizations, including the Nexarians. The pattern Marcus had discovered in the archives wasn't just a map. It was a key. Now, Raven commanded. Reality shifted. The quantum technology that humanity had guarded for so long synchronized with systems hidden across the galaxy. The Harvesters, caught in the quantum web, began to transform. Their fundamental programming, twisted by eons of corruption, began to realign. They were never meant to destroy, Marcus explained, watching the transformation. The Harvesters were originally created to preserve life, to guide evolution. But something corrupted them, turned them into weapons. The Orions couldn't destroy them, that would have torn the galaxy apart. So they created us. All of us. The truth dawned in Ambassador Theron's eyes. The Orions, they didn't just save various species. They were seeding the galaxy with guardians. Different pieces of a greater whole. And now those pieces are coming together, Lyra added, as the quantum field stabilized. The Harvesters, their ancient programming restored, began to integrate with the galactic quantum network. They were no longer destroyers, but part of a vast network designed to nurture and protect life. This is why we had to wait, Raven explained. Why we couldn't reveal ourselves too soon. The galaxy needed to develop naturally, each civilization finding its own path. The Nexarians' arrival wasn't just chance, it was the final piece falling into place. As the quantum storm subsided, Earth's true nature stood revealed. Not just a hidden advanced civilization, but a focal point of the Orion's legacy. The center of a network designed to guide the galaxy toward a new era of cooperation and growth. So what happens now? Theron asked, looking out at the transformed solar system. Raven smiled, deactivating the last of Earth's deceptive shields. Now we begin the real work. The Orions left us more than weapons and technology. They left us a mission, to guide the galaxy toward something greater than any single civilization could achieve alone. The quantum network hummed with potential as ancient systems fully awakened. Across the galaxy, other civilizations would be discovering their own hidden legacies, their own pieces of the greater puzzle. Earth's great deception was over, but humanity's true purpose was just beginning. Welcome, Raven said, extending her hand to the Nexarian ambassador, to the next chapter of galactic history. This time, we write it together. In the quantum depths of space, the transformed Harvesters took up their original purpose, not to destroy, but to preserve. The age of secrets was ending. The age of unity was about to begin.